Hello, everybody. It is an IPO alert. We've got another one in the house, DJ Khaled voice. Another one. Which one is it? You guys know. Let me know in the comments. I see a lot of you already online. Oh, you people were dogging out this particular video, weren't you? I saw 66 people already online, and we just start. Yep, I know a lot of people have been waiting on this one, the Jamaica Fiberglass. Well, the company formerly known as Jamaica Fibre Glass, now officially known as JFP. This has been a highly anticipated IPO because it's a fairly well-known company, a well-established company. They've been around since 1985, and we're going to learn a lot more about this company over the course of the next hour. So get your comments ready, your questions ready. What do you want to know about this IPO? If anything, you can bring up the prospectus right now and just glance through it because it's pretty short. Relatively speaking, it's like 54 pages. It's a quick and easy read if you want to know more about this. So let me know in the comments, in the chat, what do you want to know about this particular IPO? I'm going to introduce our guests in just a few. But first, let's get an overview of the offer.
JFP Limited, formerly Jamaica Fibre Glass Products, is selling 280 million shares in the company. The company will be simultaneously launching an initial public offer and an offer for sale. This means the company is offering 140 million newly issued shares and 140 million existing shares from a shareholder. All shares are going for just $1 each, and the smallest quantity you can buy is 1,000. That means you can participate in this offer for 1,000 Jamaican dollars plus fees. That's about $7 US. After the initial purchase of 1,000 shares, you'll have to buy them in increments of 1,000. So, you can get 2,000 shares, not 1,100. There are 3 reserved pools for JFP employees, key partners, and the broker GK Investments, all at the same price of $1. In total, JFP is seeking to raise 280 million Jamaican dollars, or about $1.7 million US. The offer opens February 21, 2022, and is scheduled to close on February 28, 2022, but it could close early. The lead broker is GK Capital Management.
All right, so there you have the details of this IPO, or a general overview of what the offer is. $1 a share. It opens on Monday, February 21, with a scheduled close date of February 28. But don't watch that close date, especially with these small offers. It's only 280 million, and I say only because that is relatively small in our market. And of the 280, not all of it is available for the public either. So just a little bit more than half is available for the public. And if you really put that into perspective, say $160 million, right? You only need 1,000 people to apply for $100,000 worth of shares to fill that. That's not a whole lot. So you want to apply early if you're interested in this. And of course, that's why you're here, to find out if you may indeed be interested in this offer. So let me introduce our guests for this evening. And who do we have? No other than CEO of JFP, Metriciaga, and also the Vice President of Investment Banking at GK Capital Management, Douglas Robinson. Welcome, gentlemen.
Evening. It's great to be here.
Yes, and welcome back, Douglas, because you were on just the other day, and here you are again.
Yes, here we are again. more things to talk about, eh?
Putting in the work. And Metri, it's been a minute since I've seen you, so it's nice to see you today.
Pleasure is mine, Kalila.
And congratulations on bringing this offer to market, because I know that this is, I read, I think in the Observer, some one of the papers, that this is the second attempt, that there was an attempt some years ago. And what happened there?
Long story. The truth is, Kalila, that we started the process about 6 years ago. I want to say that the timing was just poor for us. And we decided against it. But they said nothing before the time, and we are very happy with the company that we've chosen, GK. We're very happy with how they have handled it, our attorneys, our marketing team. Everybody has really come together and pulled all the pieces together to make this offer a very attractive one, and we think it's going to be hugely successful.
Well, looking at your prospectus is very nicely done. All those beautiful photographs in there are a very good selling point for the product, which is the IPO in this instance. And I see a comment in our chat as well. Somebody said, I had no idea. Oh, here it is. JJ said, their creations are beautiful. I had no clue. So yeah, most of us, if not everybody watching tonight, would have seen some of the products that JFP, I need to get used to the new name, that
So do I.
has produced. So you have Starbucks, KFC, Spanish Court, and the list goes on and on. So we have a short video showing some of the things that you have done. All right, so was this the one with audio producer? I think this is just these are some of the projects that you've done. So you'd recognize some of these. We have Starbucks, we have Pizza Hut. That's the one on Knutsford, right? Well, you can walk us through them. What are we looking at, Metri?
Yeah, this actually is the AC Marriott Hotel. And that one we're extremely proud of because we had to bid. We actually had to build a model room and go up against our competition from the United States who built their own model room. And we won the bid in the end. And it really pleases me when we go up against international companies. So every day we're writing bids against companies out of the States, out of China, out of Mexico, out of Spain. And, you know, when we win those bids, it's very heartening. I often say that we're one of the best kept secrets in Jamaica because people see our products every day, and we get that comment that JJ just made very often. We hear people say, "Oh, we had no idea," especially when they come to the factory and see. Yeah, so we have spent the last 37 years building an infrastructure, building the foundation of a company that is now poised to go international. And that is why we felt the timing was right. And, you know, a lot of people talk about the pandemic, Khalil, and how dramatic it has hurt their business. Well, it hurt us, no doubt about it. The hospitality industry has taken a beating, and they're our customers. So we have taken a beating. But, and the big but is that we are now seeing companies who are coming from as far as California and as near as Jacksonville in Florida, who are saying to us, listen, we would normally order our hotel's furniture from China, but they're telling us we can't get it for 12 months. And they're telling us that shipping rates have gone to $25,000 for a container. What can you offer us? And, you know, we chuckle to ourselves, and we intend to take those customers on, get them, and never let them leave by showing them that we can produce an amazing product at a fair price and do it in the time with Jamaican workers that others can't. So we're looking at it as opportunity.
Yeah, because the products, I mean, there's no disputing the quality of the products that you guys produce is world class.
Thank you very much.
It's beautiful stuff. Like I didn't know, and many people just didn't know. So we have a short video with some of the background of the company. Let's play that now.
Hi, I'm Steve Sergani, co-CEO of JFP. We started back in 1985 with a couple of guys on a mango tree, and we have expanded to over 75 employees and a 75,000 square foot facility, and we're still growing and expanding today.
My name is Michelle Williams. I've been with JFP for 29 years. I'm an account executive. JFP is the only approved vendor in the English-speaking Caribbean for Starbucks and KFC.
Hi, my name is Chad Gordon, and I am a senior architectural designer at JFP. JFP means design, functionality, and creativity. When we are designing here at JFP, we listen to our clients and figure out what it is that they want to achieve, and we tailor our designs to that.
We have the latest equipment. We go to the shows, we get the latest technology, and we bring it home to our staff. We have personnel who we have been developing and training over the years.
I'm Daniel Bailey. I'm a fiberglass supervisor at JFP. We manufacture furniture for the fast food industries, hotels and other places. I've been working here for 34 years. I enjoy working here, and I feel proud to go out and see the furniture that we make in places. It makes my heart feel happy.
One of the reasons that we are able to maintain the relationship with these brands, we do not just sell, we offer service, we maintain an intimate relationship, if you could call it that, with each client. And we are not focused just on what they need from us, but whatever else they might need for a successful completion of their projects.
We have the latest equipment, CNC machines, boring machines, welding equipment. We have evolved from people cutting materials by hacksaws to the latest technology of cutting. And we are proud to work with all of the different brands. We work with a whole range of customers, from the fast food industry into the telecommunications to the hospitality. We do hotel furniture, restaurant furniture, office furniture, and it's still expanding and still growing as we're called on for different applications. What that means is we take you from the very beginning. We will go into an empty space, we'll measure it up, we'll locate all of the key points, the doors, the columns, whatever is needed to be able to do a true drawing of this space. We'll meet with the customer and understand what their needs are, and we'll create exactly what is needed. We work along with being able to offer them all the different finishes, all the different designs, and we'll produce working drawings, get them to approve it, get them to sign off on it, and then we put it in production, and in weeks we are producing products and getting it in their environment, which can be stores, shops, etc.
So I see a lot of comments coming in saying, wow, and very impressive. So we're going to get into a lot more about this company. But first, viewers, please give us a like on this video. So if you like what you're seeing right now, if you like this interview, you like this program, just hit the thumbs up button on YouTube and or Facebook, wherever you're watching, so that YouTube can show this video to more people. I see over 400 of you already watching us, and I don't see 400 likes. So hit the like button and share this video with a friend, of course, if you know somebody who might be interested in this offer. I see people saying, wow, I'm impressed. Mark Greenswood says these designs are beautiful. Learn, Grow, Invest says nice quality work. So before we go into the details of it, first, maybe Douglas, you can answer this question. You can clarify the offer, because there's a little confusion at first about the number of shares being offered, 200 versus 140. So there's a selling shareholder. Just clarify the offer for us.
Sure. So the offer is 280 million shares are being sold to the public at $1 a share. So the total value of the offer is worth 280 million. You did you hit the nail on the head in terms of that there are actually two sources of shares. An existing shareholder is selling $140 million worth of shares, and the company JFP Limited is actually only offering $140 million worth of shares.
Right, so we are getting an echo from somebody. So if you're not speaking, let me ask you to please mute your microphone. Anybody who's not speaking, please mute your microphone so that we don't have that echo issue. You can continue, Douglas.
Sure,
Sorry, Kalila, it was me. I was trying to go on to like the video.
Okay, you're forgiven.
Yes. So yes, JFP is actually raising $140 million directly, and those funds will go into the business to allow it to grow. But the total size of the offer, the total amount of shares that can be purchased by investors on Monday is 280 million.
Okay, understood. And Symmetry, we have had a look at some of your some of the designs that you've done. Tell me about your clientele.
Our clientele reads like a who's who in Jamaica. You know, all of the banks, the fast food restaurants, the casual dining restaurants, the telecommunications companies, Flow, Digicel, you name it, and we have done work for them. Where we're really going now, Khalil, and where we're poised to go, is to take our business overseas. So traditionally, our business has done about anywhere from 10 to 40% export sales every year. And it is our intention to bring that number up to somewhere about 50, 60%. We feel at JFP, my partner and myself, Steve Sagani, feel that it is critical for us to start to use Jamaica's location in the Caribbean and in the Americas to go out and reach out to the richest nation that is a stone's throw away from us, which is North America. Shipping rates are very inexpensive to go to North America. Our products can be competitive in North America. We have the CBI initiative, which allows us to put products into the US free of duty. And as a country,
that's a great advantage.
Company, yeah, we just have not taken advantage of it. So it is our intention that Monday after the IPO closes and we have settled down, it is our intention to get on our horses and get out on the road, start knocking on doors in North America, throughout the rest of the Caribbean, and increase and double up those sales significantly overseas.
I love that you say Monday after the IPO closes. So you're confident it's going to be an open and close on Monday, speaking that into being. So when you say North America, you're going to be targeting, and I mean, you absolutely have the quality of work to get those clients, but it is a very competitive market that you are going to be entering. You say that you are able to be competitive in that market. How so? Because Jamaica, one of our biggest issues is the electricity costs. And so that drives up the cost of manufacturing. And then you'd have to ship to North America compared to those companies who are already manufacturing there. So their transportation cost is less. What will make you competitive in that market?
So you made 2 points, and let me address both of them. Firstly, the electricity cost. JFP is 100% solar operated during the daytime. So we invested, that's why I said we built a strong foundation, Kalila. So we have invested in a solar system. I was quick, you would have seen in the video, our entire roof of 70,000 square feet is almost covered in solar panels. And we can operate 100% capacity during the daytime without using GPS. So that's one. So our electricity rates, after all, are actually less than America's own.
Oh, nice.
Secondly, transportation. It costs $2,000 to take a container from Jamaica, 40-foot container, to as far as Houston, Texas, which is almost on the south coast, but in the middle of America, or to New York or to Miami, somewhere about $2,500. It is cheaper to ship from Jamaica than it is to bring product by truck or rail from Middle America or the West Coast to the East Coast. So we are confident that those two items, and that's Kalila, what you said is the mindset that we had. And we thought, listen, we just can't compete because of those things. Truth is, those both things we have overcome. And most importantly, I will say this proudly, I will put a Jamaican worker who is equally compensated and equally trained against any worker anywhere in the world. And I will bet my worker is going to be more productive and build a better product at the end of the day. So
Wow.
I think we have the labor down pat. I think we have the electricity fixed. We have shipping. We have location. And we have relationships with a lot of international companies like
Ah,
Starbucks, like KFC. So we're not going in blind. We're
and
going
that
to
was
go
my
in now.
next question, because the next thing is, how do you break into that market? How do you actually get the clients and get people to give you those meetings and to open those doors for you? Because you're going into North America where they're buddy and very
Yeah,
Trump
it's
doctrine
scary.
America
Yeah.
first.
Yes, it's scary. Okay. And it's a daunting task, but it's one that we're up to. We are not going blind. We're going to go into the relationships that we have. And when you go into a company and you throw your portfolio on the table and you say, listen, I'm an approved vendor of Starbucks International and KFC and TGI Fridays, they look at you differently. They stop looking at the fact that you are from Jamaica and thinking that you're from a little island with sun and sand and sea and hotels only. They start to look at you. And that's what we're banking on. We also remember now our business is not the traditional business where we're going in there to sell lots of units of small valued items. We're going in to sell contracts. So we are going into a company that's starting to build a hotel or going to build 100 restaurants. That's the type of relationship building that we're going to be going in to try to get, not the one sales. And it makes a difference. And we have to target our marketing accordingly.
Okay, so you mentioned hotels and restaurants. We've got to talk about that. But right now, I want us to look at the numbers. So this is always important for investors. Let's take a look at your financials. And I'm going to be sharing my screen, and we will take a look at some numbers directly from the prospectus. Just give me a second while I bring that up. Here we go. So tell me the story here, Metri. We're looking at your revenues for the past 5 years, well, up to 2020, and we'll talk about 2021 too, because that's important. But 2016, 2017, 2018, you had 200 and odd million dollars in revenues, took a dip in 2018. 2019 was a great year, we can see here. And then 2020, as expected, there's a dip, pandemic hit, but still much better than 2018. So tell me the story behind these numbers, Metri.
So, Kalila, the truth is that our business tends to be lumpy or has tended to be lumpy when we have large contracts. So, when we're doing a hotel, it may be $1 million job. And if one of those contracts comes through or ends prior to a financial year, it can skew the numbers significantly. And I think that is what you have seen here for the most part. In 2019, we made some significant changes to the business. We had decided that we were going after the hotel business in a real way a couple of years before that. And it took us a while of getting our feet wet and getting the industry to understand that we are a real player. So I think those two factors affected the numbers somewhat. 2019 to 2020, obviously we felt the blow from COVID. However, we were able to, and I hate to say the word, but we were able to pivot because we started to manufacture products for the health sector. I don't know if you've ever been up to the university hospital to get COVID tested, but all of those booths that you see there where they push their hands through to do the testing,
You
we
did
were able
those?
to do those. Yes, we did. And we were able to do them in record time. And we did it without making a great deal of profit, but we were able to keep our factory open, we were able to keep people employed, and we were able to not reduce salaries, which we thought was critically important to keep people who are having it hard already employed and keeping going. And that to us was what was important at that point, not profits.
All right. Well, we do need to talk about profits now. So gross profits, let's look at these numbers. And we see profit margins have been very impressive. So it says here, despite the downturn in revenues for the year, that would have been 2020, gross margins increased from 46.5% in 2019 to 52.5%. So you have a very high profit margin. What makes the profit margin so high? Like, how are you able to maintain that?
We have an amazing team. We have great people working with us. You saw some of them in the video. My business partner, Steve Sagani, he's really the man that deals with the production in the factory, and he walks the floor from 6:45 every morning until he leaves there at after 5 o'clock in the evening. He is relentless about the quality and about the savings of or wastage of material and things of that nature. We also took into account how we purchase. We started to purchase a lot better. We got an agent in China who started to purchase on our behalf. Couple other initiatives that we put in place that really started to help us to get costs under control.
All right, so we've looked at 2016 to 2020, great numbers, especially 19 and 20. But then you had 2021, and I'm looking now at the 9 months to September because you don't have the last quarter reported yet. And I'm seeing where your sales dipped and your profit dipped as well. So sales fell from 312 million in the comparable period in 2020 to 209 million in 2021. And in terms of the economy, I'd say 2021 was a better year than 2020. 2020 was rough for everybody. So how is it that your revenues and your profits dipped in 21 compared to 20?
That's a good question. First of all, a lot of the projects that we were working on took longer than we expected. And as I explained to you before, our business is lumpy. So for the year, whilst we have some steady, smaller contracts, we have 2 or 3 main contracts for the year that can make a difference. So, for example, the Rock Hotel, which is almost finished downtown, we are doing all the furniture for that. We expect it to be finished from last year.
Oh, you have the contract for Rock Hotel?
Yes, we're
Nice.
furnishing all of the rooms.
That's the one
that we
coming
expect-
downtown, right?
Yes,
On the
correct.
waterfront.
On the waterfront. It's going to be beautiful. And we won that contract bidding against Mexican companies, Spanish companies, American companies. And I think they've been very happy with us. That contract should have been finished from last year. We have had the furniture finished and put down, and we're working with the company. They have run into some challenges, as everybody has, but not being able to finish that job certainly took its toll. If I had sat here and told you in 2019 that in 2021 we'd still be feeling the effects, Kalila, I don't think any of us would have believed it. We are, and thank God it looks like we are at the end of that road, and the pipeline that we have, not in work that we expect to get, but the work that we have in-house, orders that have been booked and contracts signed for, is very, very encouraging.
And there's also positive news on the tourism front, because you guys do lots of work for the tourism industry. You have the contract for Rock, you've done Spanish Court, you've done AC Hotel, and reading in the prospectus and also just from knowing what's going on in the environment, what is it, like 8,000 hotel rooms expected to come on board in the next few years?
Yeah, and that's really where one of our growth areas is in the hotel business. If we get 10% of those of that work, we will be very, very encouraged, because at this point we get very little of the Spanish hotels internationally that are here in Jamaica. If you listen to the work that we've gotten, Spanish Court, S Hotel, local owners, AC Marriott, local owners, Courtyard Marriott, local owners, Sandals, local owners. So what has not translated to this point is the Spanish hotels coming to Jamaica and giving an opportunity to us as a local supplier. That is something we are working very hard at changing, and intend to make that change this year.
So let me ask you about your dividend policy. I already read it, so I already know what it is. But for those who are watching right now, and people always want to know, is this going to be a good dividend paying company? What is your plans? What are your plans re dividends?
When we were writing the prospectus, it's something we thought long and hard about. And to say that there was some disagreement amongst the team as to what we should put and what we shouldn't put. So our prospectus says from a dividend policy of between 40 and 80% of profits will be paid in dividends on a quarterly basis or as the board sees fit. This is a company, Kalila, that myself and my two cousins own, or have owned up to this point at 33% each. Now we're selling 25% to the company. We will own 25% each, and then 25% will be owned by the public. Over the last 37 years, we have really not taken any money out of the company. We have fought by putting every dollar back into the business to build it over 37 years. So, with that said, I feel that once the company is now making money, we, along with the shareholders, deserve to get dividends paid to them on a regular basis and for as much as we can pay. Now, that's not to say that we won't be looking at new projects, and the board of directors, and I'm very happy to announce, for those who haven't seen it, Mr. Ian Levy, OJ, has agreed to be our chairman, and I think he's going to help us steer us in the right directions to make some big, bold decisions that are going to take the company soaring to new heights. So if you see us not paying any dividends for a quarter or two, hold strain, because you know that it's something big coming.
All right. So we have a ton of questions from our viewers. Let me start taking them now. And Douglas, don't worry. I'm sure some of these questions are for you too. I have a few for you, but I want to start taking some of the viewer questions. So Roshane says, with Airbnbs on the rise and the increased use of carer services instead of dining in fast food establishments, in the long term, will the company be sustainable?
Well, sure, and it's a very good point, and it's something that we have to keep watching. We know for a fact that 7,000 hotel rooms have been slated to be built. We know that the expansion of the fast food industry, I think that I want people to understand that as our economy grows, so is going to be the need for many of the services that people use. So, for example, Jamaica, I think there are about 50 KFCs in Jamaica. In Puerto Rico, which is similar in size, I think they're actually smaller than us. There are 140 KFCs, or 120 KFCs. It's because of the size of their market and the wealth of their market. These are things that show us where the market can go to. And yes, those changes are happening, but we don't feel that they're going to be significant enough to stop the growth in the industry for us.
I have a question. This one looks like it's for Douglas. It comes from non-sequitur. He says, if the company pool is not fully subscribed, would those unused shares be added to the general pool?
So yes, that is how this would work. Generally, you have these reserve share pools, and they would be allocated. If there are any shares that are unallocated from those pools, they would move down into the general.
Ian Williams wants to know what percentage of company revenues are from government contracts.
I don't have the number offhand, but very small. Very difficult to do business with the government. Usually when we bid on government contracts, we win, and we win a government contract. Normally the terms of payment are very poor. our philosophy is that we're not going to build our business model on getting government contracts. We prefer to deal with the private sector. Now, if you ask me on a personal basis, I think the government policy of procurement is completely wrong. And I think the government should be buying everything from local manufacturers. But that's another topic for another discussion.
Yes.
In terms of our company, we are not, and I repeat, we are not looking at the government as a major player in our customer base.
Well, speaking of your customer base, I see two very similar questions here. Devon says, are there plans to target consumers for a wider revenue stream, like an IKEA of sorts? And then Levar is also asking, are there any plans for private home development?
The short answer is no. And it is when you have a production line like we have, it is very difficult to build one of a piece. So when you see a Starbucks, like you see on the screen there, or you see umbrellas and seats like what we see, when you build for a hotel and you build a 150-room hotel, you're building 150 beds, you can buy material for 150 beds, you can buy wood for 150 beds. These are things that brings your cost down. We do not play in the home market at this point. We don't have any intention of playing in that market immediately. But I can't tell you what my board is going to tell me to do. They may very well at some stage come back to me and say, listen, this is the direction we want to go in, and we'll have to explore it. But no, not now.
Okay. Philip wants to know, are the revenues from the Montego Bay Airport included in the prospectus?
Doug, do you want to take that?
Oh, yeah, man, sure. So, so the prospectus includes some information about the pipeline, including the an airport contract, which is expected for next year of worth about $150 million. So yes.
Doug, we do expect to finish it this year.
Sorry, I do keep saying next year when I mean this year. I keep thinking I'm still living in 2021, but yes, that is for 2022. Thank you for the correction, literally.
Okay, and we saw some of the we saw some of the
Again,
work we did in the VIP lounge there too.
Absolutely. And you know, Kalila, this contract that we won recently from the Mobile Airport was very fulfilling for us, because we bid against, it's a Mexican company, as you know, that owns the airport. And we bid against companies out of Mexico. We bid against companies out of the States. And we were able to win that contract resoundingly. And we're going to show them that we are going to make them very happy. And we're going to give them the best product, and we're going to come in on budget. And hopefully that they're going to be a customer of ours, not only for Jamaica, but for the rest of the world where they have their airports.
All right. Ashone wants to know, where do you source your raw materials?
We try to source our raw materials from Jamaica when possible. But truthfully, the majority of the raw materials that we use cannot be found locally. So we import from China, from India, and from the United States.
Okay.
And Canada.
All right, so we have some more questions here. Like I said, I'm trying to filter through the questions, but talk to me a little bit about, we've been having this big shipping issue in 2021, like the shipping costs really skyrocketed. And you just mentioned that you import a lot of your raw materials from China. So, and we also spoke earlier about your profitability decline in 2021. So is that a big factor behind that? And how soon do you anticipate that's going to be resolved? Because that's major.
Well, if I knew that, Kalila, I would be a seer. The truth is, we don't know how long it's going to be. The good thing about it is that we were very fortunate in that we got ahead of it. I had the opportunity to go to China a couple of years ago and met with a Jamaican living there who I encouraged to start a business of being an agent for customers in Jamaica like myself. She did that. She now purchases all our product for us in China. She will actually go to the factories, form relationships with the people, look at what we're getting before they are shipped and send them to Jamaica. That helps us in that we're not buying a puss in a bag. We know what we're getting ahead of time. And just before the pandemic, we ordered significant quantities of raw materials, as we do every year. As the pandemic started, we recognized that there could be a problem and ordered more. So our levels of stock are in good shape and more expensive. Things are more expensive to buy now. You will call a supplier today and the price is $10 and you call back tomorrow and it's $20. Luckily, or well, not luckily for the customer, but we are a contract manufacturer. So when we are costing, we cost and give the customers a price based on what we have ordered. Our prices are able to be changed up until the last minute. So it doesn't affect us that badly.
I didn't see any growth projections in the prospectus. Why is that, and what are those projections?
What I'd say is one thing we did make sure to keep in the prospectus was, and Mitri spoke about this a little earlier, the pipeline for 2022. In particular, the first 3 quarters of 2022. And why we wanted to put that in was because those are specifically contracts that JFP already has. They've been signed, they've been sealed, they've been delivered, and are varying levels of actual execution. And so that kind of shows tangibly what is there for next year. And, you know, as with any business owner, as with any business operator, there are still other jobs, other revenue opportunities that they have at varying, you know, levels of potential, whether about to sign or looking for in the future. But what we wanted to really show was, in particular, next year, because just to back up a little bit, we spoke a little bit about 2021, the 9 months to September, and the weakness in revenue. And the truth is that one of the big factors that caused that was really delay in projects. And on a normalized basis, we could even look at, because we've quantified in the prospectus, how much of that revenue, which is really the Q1 pipeline, that was expected to actually complete in 2021, in specifically those 9 months up to September 2021. So the truth is, you know, we can look at the those revenue figures, normalize the 2021 figures, and say that in fact, for the 12 months between October 2020 and September 2021, on a normalized basis, JFP would have likely made around $83 million of profit if you include the effect of those delayed contracts. So that's kind of how we look at it, and we believe that going forward, given a lot of the things we've been talking about, the expectations around the hospitality sector, around the restaurant sector, and other initiatives that JFP are putting together, that I keep saying next year, but really this year, 2022, will be a more normalized level of earnings, and into the future, there are even other growth opportunities that JFP will be able to achieve.
So for 2022, are you expecting those numbers to grow for over 2021, or to remain just about flat, or what's the expectation for this year?
What I'd say is that the truth is, as Mitri has said, the revenue patterns of JFP can be lumpy from time to time, right? There are big contracts that, if they're delayed, may cause a bit of a dip. If they go through, may actually have a great year. But over the long run, the company is looking to continue its growth pattern, and hopefully continue it at even a more aggressive rate than they have in the past, which, if you look in the prospectus, the last 5 financial years on average, they grew by a little more than 11% per year.
All right, let's take some more questions from the viewers. Marcus wants to know, has JFP applied for economic zone status?
No, we can't. We're an existing company, and the economic zone regulations don't allow existing companies to apply for 10 years.
Okay. Let me see some more questions. There are so many more. Rochelle says or asks, does JFP outsource its architects and project managers for these projects, or are they in-house?
They are in-house. We have a team of 3 architects and about 4 project managers.
Okay, seeing some more comments. Kellyanne says, I love that this is strictly Jamaican. Let me see. Well, let's ask some questions about buying, because we've been on for 45 minutes already. So people want to know, well, how can they buy into this IPO? Douglas?
Sure. Thanks, Khalida. There are a few ways you can buy into the IPO. You can buy online via our selling agent NCB's Go IPO platform. You can also call your broker and purchase through them. And you can as well come directly to us at GK Capital and make an application and purchase the shares with us.
Who are the selling agents?
NCB Capital Markets.
I think I saw JMMB say you can apply on Moneyline as well. So
yes, you can apply through JMMB as well if you're a JMMB client.
Okay. Romaine says, can the current staff complement meet the possible increase in demand from an expansion to international markets? Are there plans to increase the staff?
So the answer is no, the current staff complement cannot. And yes, we do intend to increase the staff complement. We actually, starting tomorrow, we have recently formed a relationship with a couple of agencies, Hart and another school, another private school, which I prefer not to name at this point, that we have tomorrow. Actually, I think we have about 19 youngsters coming in to start training. We recognize that, your question is a very good one, because we don't want to catch the car and then when we catch it, we don't know what to do with it. We want to have staff that's ready and available. So we've started the process by bringing young people in who are training in this field and start to do in-house training with them whilst they're at school, so that by the time they graduate, they'll have a job and we'll be ready for them.
Okay. John says, why so much in dividends and you're trying to grow and expand the company? And then Jay followed that up saying 40 to 80% is generous.
The truth is that this is not a new company. It's 37 years old, okay? And the company has done what it needs to do to put it in a place where it can now expand. Now, if we need that money, we're going to keep it and we're going to use it to expand the business. But we're not, I don't feel, certainly the philosophy is right now that we don't want to be hoarding cash. What we want to do is to distribute that cash amongst our shareholders. That philosophy may or may not change, but that's our philosophy at this point.
Okay. Imran, so we spoke about getting contracts in the North American market, but Imran says, are you looking to get hotel contracts from within the region?
Absolutely. Actually, we have been in negotiations and discussions with another AC Marriott hotel being built in Guyana. I intend to go to Guyana within the next couple of months. Over 20 hotels are being built in Guyana over the next 2 to 3 years. So the expansion there, as we know, they have found natural gas and there are oil, whatever it is, they are found, but they are exploding, and we plan to be a part of that explosion.
Guyana. Okay. So I have 2 questions here about the share price. Robert says, why offer such a limited number of shares? Couldn't the 280 have been split and sold at 50 cents per share? And then Roger followed that up saying, my question is to ask, why is the opening cost for this IPO at $1 and not starting around in the cent range?
Well, I mean, I can say I'm a simple fellow. $1 is an easy number to think about, right? But the truth is, I think $1 is a good price to start at, a starting range. If you actually look at a lot of the recent IPOs, they've been in and around that range. But it doesn't preclude the business if, for example, the price starts to increase, starts to get a little higher, and they look at it and say, hey, this is causing a bit of an issue in terms of the trading of the stock, to do any sort of stock splits or anything like that to adjust the price back downward again so that it's affordable and it's able to be traded. So I think that $1 is a good price as it stands, and we'll see what happens in the future.
Okay. So follow up on the question about attracting, getting contracts for Caribbean hotels. This one, well, this isn't a question I plan to do, but this is another good question. Soka Junkie says, I'm concerned about the growth. The company needs to explore offering new service and products. So not necessarily new markets alone, but also new service and products. What are your thoughts on that, Metri?
Couldn't agree more. And every day, certainly some of the funds from the IPO are going into research and development. So one of your viewers a little earlier asked about the home market. Whilst I said it's not on our radar at this point, it's certainly one of the things we're going to be doing when we get the funds to be able to put into R&D, is to start looking at home furnishing and not known furnishing, because our intention is to try to grow our ability to export while servicing the local market.
So on that point, Odane has a related question, and he's asking, will the company in the future expand to make other fiberglass parts other than interior, such as car parts, boat parts, and repairing things like that? So when I heard Jamaica Fibre Glass, I thought you guys made boats. I didn't know it was furniture.
So listen, we've been talking about building boats forever, and it's certainly one of the possible growth areas. We do make other fiberglass parts. We do manufacture. I don't think people know it, but many of the parts that you see on JUTC buses are bought from us. We manufacture some of the fenders and things at significantly reduced prices compared to what they were importing them for. We manufacture a host of products: planters, garbage cans, ash urns, benches, seating in fiberglass. So we do offer other things, and when that research and development is done, if it shows that there are other products that we should be getting into, yes, we are. Listen, we manufacture widgets, okay? We really are not concerned about what we make so much as the fact that we can manufacture it, put it through the door, and make a profit on it.
So we have another question for Douglas, and this one, O'Shane says, will the shares be allocated as per the prospectus, first come, first serve, or will we see a similar situation as SPUR tree? I guess meaning being oversubscribed and people didn't get everything that they applied for.
Well, it really will depend on the amount of applications and the amount of shares that people apply for. Of course, as you said, Kalila, if it is oversubscribed, at the end of the day, what that means is that so many more people have asked for shares than there already actually are. And so there will have to be some sort of proration, some sort of allocation that hopefully is fair to everyone, right? So it is really up to the demand and the excitement that we see here for the offer.
Yeah, so all depends on how many people apply and how many shares you all apply for, if it can be fulfilled. All right, here's a great question from SS for Metri. What mechanisms do you have in place or will put in place to reduce a repeat of delays similar to the downtown project, since it appears this affected 2021 revenue numbers greatly?
So the delays were simply not our fault. We were ready on time. And I'm happy to say that in the 37 years that we've been in business, we have not been late on a job where we have a customer waiting on us. There was a worldwide pandemic, and we had to understand. Now, we could have pressed our customer and said, listen, you gave us a time frame, the products are ready, we need to be paid. We didn't do that. Rather than making the numbers look good, we felt it was important to build a relationship with this international company. The project managers on this company actually are scheduled to be the project managers for a 400-room hotel being done in Trelawney. We have made them very happy. We have satisfied all their needs, and we're hoping that that will translate in goodwill to us getting that job. So the delays that we see in the numbers, SS, are not really a factor from our productivity. It's really our customers and what is happening to and with them. And we have very little control over that.
Okay, so we have about 5 minutes left. I'm going to try to squeeze in as many more questions as I can. This one comes from Pablo, and he says, do you guys utilize 3D printing? This is the ultimate game changer in nimble manufacturing.
We use 3D printing only for small parts and samples. Usually the products that we make are too big, and it's not effective to manufacture them in volumes on a 3D printing.
Jenny,
but we do use them for samples.
Right. Jenny says, any plans to tap into the massive hotel building boom in Cayman? I think you should explore that.
Absolutely. We have recently engaged 2 salespersons to work throughout the east coast of the US, Bahamas, and the Caribbean. The Bahamas, Cayman, and the rest of the Caribbean. Yes, the short answer is yes, and we appreciate the advice and we'll take it.
Elaine wants to know, do you have any competitors in the fiberglass business in Jamaica? And first, let me clarify that JFP doesn't only do fiberglass anymore, right, Metri? That's why you changed your name.
Correct. Fiberglass actually represents about 5% of our business today. But that's where we started, you know, and it was a big battle as to whether to change the name or not to JFP. I still can't even get used to saying it after 37 years. I do not think, Elaine, that there are any. I know for sure that there's no one doing what we do at the scale that we do it. There are many people, many small people who do it, their individual work, build boats and that sort of thing in fiberglass, but nobody that does really any other products like we do.
Yeah, I can't think of who that would be indeed. SMAC wants to know about your debt. Is the company debt-free?
When the IPO is completed and the dust settles, we will be 100% debt-free, yes.
So some of the proceeds are going to repay some of that debt.
Correct.
Okay. How much debt is it?
I think the debt now is about 50 million or something to that effect. Small. Okay. Our debt ratio was quite small. We had been paying down debt, and I know, Kalila, before we even went public, it was myself and my partner had said to ourselves, before I turn 60, I need to be debt free, and luckily this is going to allow me to do it just in the nick of time.
Soca Junkie says, we are excited that this company is Jamaican. I'm just going to put this out there. Go into bamboo furniture. Thank me later with some shares. Do you currently use bamboo?
We use bamboo for small components of our work. A friend of mine, actually, Johnny Hamilton, is in the bamboo furniture manufacturing business. And he does a great job. It's just that the furniture is very, it all looks very similar. And we could use it to do some of the products that we do. And when Soca Junkie had suggested that you design a nice line of bamboo furniture, bring it to us, you sell it, we'll manufacture it for you. You can make a big profit. How about that?
I'm sure
we can give Kalila a commission for saying it right here.
Yes, I must get my commission. Let's get this money. But okay. So you did answer the question that there's not really any competition for you in this space right now, because nobody's doing it on the scale that you do. We have a question about the application process. If payment issues, what is plan B? I don't know, perhaps if they have problems with the platform.
Yeah, so if there are problems with the platform, you can always call us at GK Capital, call our selling agent if you're going through, well, either of those platforms that you're going through. But of course, you know, we are here to help and to solve any issues that you may have in making your application. So please call us so that we can sort you out and get you to that plan B so that you can buy the shares.
All right, let me take this last question. And I think this person probably joined us late because you may have answered at least a part of this question. Where is it? Okay, David Scott is saying or asking, how robust is the company's supply chain for raw material? Were there any interruptions during COVID?
Yeah, as I said before, we have developed good relationships with our suppliers in the USA and in China. Having a Jamaican living in China, doing all our purchasing for us, and there were no interruptions during COVID, and we don't expect there to be any.
Okay, well, I want to thank you so much for joining us. This was a really great discussion. Thank you once again, Metri and Douglas. I think you answered most, if not all, of the questions from the viewers, and there were plenty. You see these numbers? 641 people are joining us live.
Wow,
right now.
excellent. And thank you, Kalila, and congratulations to you. I think you're doing an amazing job. Keep rocking.
Thank you. This is the highest live viewership we've ever had, so that shows the interest.
Great.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So about those people who are asking whether it will be oversubscribed, I mean, this may be an indication of where it is going. So thank you once again, Metri and Douglas, and viewers, those of you watching us, remember to please like the video. So drop a like, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. That tells YouTube and Facebook that they should recommend this video to other people like you who may be interested. Share it on WhatsApp, share it in your email. Subscribe to the newsletter at kalilareynolds.com/newsletter. When you do that, you get these IPO alerts, you get breaking money news, you get what's hot in business, and so many other cool stuff. Promo codes for my masterclass, by the way. If you haven't opened an investment account just yet and you want to know how to do so, what are the key things you need to know about investing, you can take my Investing for Beginners masterclass at kalilareynolds.com/masterclass. Whoa, I see the comments coming in. Somebody said this IPO is going to be epic. So let's see. And just reminding you as well, how to apply. So you can apply through GK Capital. You can also apply through NCB's Go IPO platform or through JMMB's Moneyline. So those are the ways that you can apply. This offer opens on Monday, the 21st of February. But if you're interested, I highly suggest that you get moving before Monday, because it is a limited number of shares. There appears to be great interest in this, and you know what supply and demand means, right? What's going to happen, what happened with SPUR and what happens with many of the smaller offers. They tend to be oversubscribed very quickly. So if you're interested, tomorrow is the last business day before Monday, so you might want to get moving fairly quickly. And if you still want some more information, check out the prospectus. The link is in the description box of this video. And like I said, you can subscribe to the newsletter where we have a lot of that information. So stay with me, viewers. I don't know if Metri and Douglas want to join in. Let's get this money.
Let's do it.
Thank you once again. That's all for this evening. See you later, everybody.
Bye.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Hi, I'm Steve Sergani, co-CEO of JFP. We started back in 1985 with a couple of guys on a mango tree, and we have expanded to over 75 employees and a 75,000 square foot facility. and we're still growing and expanding today.
My name is Michelle Williams. I've been with JFP for 29 years. I'm an account executive. JFP is the only approved vendor in the English-speaking Caribbean for Starbucks and KFC.
Hi, my name is Chad Gordon and I am a senior architectural designer at JFP. JFP means design, functionality, and creativity. When we are designing here at JFP, we listen to our clients and figure out what it is that they want to achieve, and we tailor our designs to that.
We have the latest equipment. We go to the shows, we get the latest technology, and we bring it home to our staff. We have personnel who we have been developing and training over the years.
I'm Daniel Bailey. I'm a fiberglass supervisor at JFP. We manufacture furniture for the fast food industries, hotels and other places. I've been working here for 34 years. I enjoy working here and I feel proud to go out and see the furniture that we make in places. It makes my heart feel happy.
One of the reasons that we are able to maintain the relationship with these brands, we do not just sell, we offer service, we maintain an intimate relationship, if you could call it that, with each client, and we are not focused just on what they need from us, but whatever else they might need for a successful completion of their projects.
We have the latest equipment, CNC machines, boring machines, welding equipment. We have evolved from people cutting materials by hacksaws to the latest technology of cutting. And we are proud to work with all of the different brands. We work with a whole range of customers, from the fast food industry into the telecommunications to the hospitality. We do hotel furniture, restaurant furniture, office furniture, and still expanding and still growing as we're called on for different applications. What that means is we take you from the very beginning. We will go into an empty space, we'll measure it up, we'll locate all of the key points, the doors, the columns, whatever is needed to be able to do a true drawing of this space. We'll meet with the customer and understand what their needs are, and we'll create exactly what is needed. We work along with being able to offer them all the different finishes, all the different designs, and we'll produce working drawings, get them to approve it, get them to sign off on it, and then we put it in production, and in weeks we are producing products and getting it in their environment, which can be stores, shops, etc.